The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real.
Hashtag data, not evidence.
Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everybody. TGIF. Welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat. I'm Shay Carroll, and as always, we have a great show lined up for you. The one, the only, Dawn. I don't know what last name to use.
Gaunt.
Dawn. We have Dawn. Dawn, where are you from?
I am from New Hampshire. Born and raised.
Born and raised. And you're also from mystical... What is it?
Protector of Mysterial Research.
Yeah, I always forget.
PMR for short.
Yeah. And she's also part of PBR. Her name is assistant manager. We should have named her like event coordinator helper.
Yeah.
But, so anybody that's been at our table knows who Dawn is.
The quiet one that sits in the back.
Oh yeah, so quiet. So quiet. Yeah, definitely. Tonight, we are talking about what it means to be a new investigator. Because it is tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes new investigators, how do you say this nicely?
They don't know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, they don't know what they're doing, and they hang on to people that give them attention, even though it's not the right attention.
Yeah.
Does that make sense or no?
Yep. No, that does.
Yeah. So, it's not always clear.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
How long you been part of a team?
Officially,
yes,
since last summer. But
right.
Unofficially, it'll be 2 years in August.
You have a lot of do's and don'ts.
Yeah. One thing I will say is, when I first started, what got me into investigating was watching, paranormal shows on TV. And my first ever investigation I went on, I kind of based it off that. So that's a big don't. Don't base it off what you see on TV.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So what do you base it on?
It was a lot of observing, watching more experienced people. I've been lucky enough to meet some amazing people in this field, and pretty much watching how they investigate and taking what works for me and what doesn't, because not everybody investigates the same way. Like how I investigate is different from even how you investigate or how, other people investigate. So it's pretty much trial and error.
Have you found a problem with investigating with people you like personally versus how they investigate? Or do they accept you?
I've never found any problems. But like I said, the people that I've met have been amazing. But I've seen things and heard stories that, some people aren't, not everybody in this field is as open-minded as, the people I've been lucky enough to meet.
And some people are too open-minded.
Yes. I am a, what is it called? A skeptic believer. Like, I believe there's stuff out there, but I'm not going to look at a picture and see like a bunch of dust particles and be like, look at all the spirits in that picture. Like, it's dust. Like, I'm not one to be like, oh, that's an orb, that's a spirit. No, most of the time it's going to be dust.
And I think you have, I have to be biased here, but I think you have surrounded yourself with some good people.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, like,
they have become like second family to me. It's amazing.
Exactly. And again, I feel a little biased here, but the people that we investigate together and the people that you've met through Matt and I, they're also the same way. Like, so
we go in trying to see like if it's, how do I put this? Being like, just because trying to find another explanation for it than being like, oh, that's definitely, paranormal.
So you're big on pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever taken a picture and posted it as one thing and then later on, I was so wrong? Because I have.
Not yet. Because before I post a picture, I try to send it to the people that I know and be like, get their take on it. And if I do post a picture where I think it might be something, if I'm not 100% sure, like if it is, definitely, not solid, like that is definitely somebody there and there was nobody else in the room, I will say, I think this is what it is, but I could be wrong. I will put it right in the caption, like, no guarantee this is what it is, but this is what I'm thinking it might be.
I agree. Do you think more teams should do that?
Yes.
As a new investigator, you have to be overwhelmed with status and...
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't really like, being in the limelight or all that. Like, I mean, and not only that, like with the whole status, you saw me at,
which one? Come on.
Brain fart, Parafest, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw me there when, Satori was there. Like, it took everything in me to just go and ask her for a picture.
It also took me.
Yeah. Let's go together.
I was like, you're going. When we're together, let's go.
Right. Being in this field, like, because that's what got me into the paranormal, was seeing these paranormal shows. And, like, I've been lucky enough to meet people that are in these shows and meet people that got me into, like, Carl, for example. Like, he was in Ghost Hunters in the first season. Like,
Carl Johnson of Duo Demonology. Yes.
Yep. He's awesome. I've met amazing guy. If you want to hear good stories, talk to him.
Yeah.
But, it's just me personally being new, like, I've gotten better at it, but, I gotta try to tame down the starstruckness of it all, because they're just people like me and you. Like, oh my God, you're on TV, so you're amazing, but it's really, they're doing the same things that we're doing.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. Like, I took you over. I really, I was like, I don't care. Let's go over it. Like, but I also did it with my sister. Like, I made the mistake of telling Steve and Tango, I'm like, hey, my sister's a huge fan. She won't come over. And they're like, you're not a fan? I'm like, what do I say? Yes,
Right.
I love you, but...
You're just another person. Like, but
Yeah,
that's another... Like, if they were to ever be there, I'd be the same way. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I
I didn't even know. I was hanging out with Tango's wife all night. Didn't even know who she was. Like, I just liked her tattoos, and I liked her. We're hanging out, and he's like, oh, you met my wife. I'm like, what?
right?
Yeah.
Like, I've been hanging out with her all night. Like,
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah.
So, but, all right, so back to the subject. What was your first investigation like?
It was Wilson Castle in Proctor, Vermont. Amazing location. If you haven't been, you need to go. I know you've been.
Was I there?
You've been, but any of the listeners, if they have not been, they
Yes.
need to go. Matt brought me there as a birthday gift.
Oh, you went
and-
once without me. That's right.
No, you were there.
Oh, I was.
That was the night that I met you. Yep, it was you, Matt, me. Who else was there? Jeff was
Ryan,
there.
there was
Like
tons.
a lot of there
Jeff.
was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my first investigation.
Yeah.
So I mean, you were there. It was amazing. I loved it. But it was a matter of, trying to. So it was a matter of trying
Yeah.
not to let what I've learned from watching these shows on TV take over and pretty much observing what everybody else has done. I mean, it came to a point where me and Matt were downstairs doing an EVP session, and he told me to say something, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And believe it or not, we actually caught an EVP in that time.
EVP in the casket.
Yeah, that's when, that's the EVP we caught. We were downstairs doing the EVP, and Jeff was upstairs in the casket, and we got the EVP that said let him out.
Have you learned anything from that first? You're a picture taker.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you learned anything from that first investigation till now?
Oh, I've learned things in every investigation.
Thank you. Yes.
Every investigation.
You should.
Yep.
You should. Seriously. You really should.
And I've been to some pretty awesome places, and every investigation I walk away with some new skill, new knowledge, and I probably will be like that 10, 15 years down the road. Like, when I have hundreds under my belt.
Yeah. I think you always need to learn something every time.
Mm-hmm.
Or every somewhat time. But you do. Like, nobody has all the answers, and that's what people forget, and new investigators come in and they're like, oh, seen on TV. No.
No, it's not like that.
No.
We've been on investigations where we have literally sat in a house in a dark room and talked to ourselves all night and walked away with nothing. But
exactly.
I mean, you win some, you lose some. But it's still a matter of, the times that those happens, I don't walk away and be like, you know what, that was stupid. No, because I still got to spend time with amazing people. I had a lot of fun, and I learned different things during those times.
Yeah. I think more people need to find better role models.
Exactly.
And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but yeah, this is Shay's Paranormal Chat, so I do. But you really need to... Oh, help me out. You have to have a good role model.
Yeah.
That's willing to throw things out, not just every little thing is paranormal, because that's not how it is.
Right. Exactly. Like if I for example, the WLGH event that we did at Wilson, the first night, the people that were there, they had a blast, they were having fun, they were laughing, they were being loud. Due to that, I had to throw a lot of stuff out. Like, there was a couple things that it's like, that might be something, but because there was people outside talking and having fun, I had to throw it away. And some people would be like, oh, that's definitely something. But I'm not going to put that out there and be like, oh, that's definitely something, when it could have easily been, there was a lot of people there that night.
Yeah. You gotta balance it, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I think some people forget that.
Yep.
So,
You can't let your ego take over.
oh, here we go. Ego. What do you think about ego?
I think it needs to go out the window,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah,
And if you're a new investigator, when you're meeting, you're gonna, like, if you go to these conventions and stuff, you're going to meet all kinds of people. When you first meet people, I think that you should have your guard up until you get a feel for who they really are as a person. Luckily, I had an in, and I had, people that knew these people and were able to kind of be like, just keep an eye out for that one, or keep an eye out for that one, or that one's a great person, and I've been lucky to meet nothing but amazing people. So, but not everybody has an in, and they just kind of jump in it, and they don't know who's who.
but that's my point. You should have an in. You need to find a role model in your area that is going to direct you in good ways.
Yeah.
I really do.
And there's plenty of them in every state. There's a crew. Go on Facebook, go on Instagram, and you'll find somebody in your area.
Yeah. And just because somebody is Facebook friends with a person doesn't mean they would highly suggest them.
Exactly.
And even if, you and I are friends, but even if I were to tell you, this person's not good, you still have to feel it out for yourself.
Exactly. Right.
Don't take my word for it.
No, I don't take any. I just kind of, anybody I meet, I keep my guard up at first. Anybody that's met me, when they first met me, they'll tell you I was quiet. I kind of sat back. I was withdrawn. I didn't really talk. I was more an observer. But then once I get to know you and find out who you are as a person, that's when I kick the doors open and out comes me.
I don't know where I sit in that, because you liked me right away, I guess, because we were egging each other on.
But in the beginning, in the first hour, so I didn't really talk to anybody.
No. You're just I'm going to take my pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I get it. All right.
I think what warmed me up with you is I realized that you were just as weird as me, so.
I am. I really am. I'm weird. I have no issue claiming that.
Yeah.
But I have my standards. Is that the word?
Yep. Yeah.
So. And I have no issue telling you we're friends. But I have no issue telling you that picture's crap. Whatever.
And I like that with, the people that I investigate with, because I want that. I don't want to put something out there with my name on it, with, my investigation, company's name on it, saying this is something if it's not. Because that makes us look bad.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. So my next question is, how do you feel about people knowing their equipment for being a new investigator? Because this is a tough one for me. I've been investigating for a long time, and I still don't know all my equipment.
I'll put it this way. I've been doing photography on the side since I was pregnant with my son, and he's almost 8. And I'm still learning how to use my camera.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a learning curve with equipment. If it's a piece of equipment you've never used before, it's going to be a bit before you actually get the hang of it. My video recorder with my IR lights and stuff, I'm still learning how to use that, the right lighting and the right, all that. It's tough.
So what is your best advice for new investigators?
Go in open-minded.
Open-minded, okay.
Yep.
Next.
Don't take everything that, is paranormal. Don't think that everything is if a door, say you're sitting in a room and you see a door move on its own, check to see if there's drafts, check if there could be anything natural, normal, that could cause that to happen. When you're doing EVP sessions, always tag, like, say who's in the room with you, what location you're in, you know, all that stuff. So if you hear, like, somebody whispering or something.
Like, hey, that was me, I coughed. Hey, that was me, I swore.
Yep. You know, say who's in the room with you before you start. As soon as you start recording, say, you know, it's me and, you know, whoever else is in the room with you. If you hear people walking by and you know it's a live person, just, you know, tag it in the recording. So that way when you're listening back, 'cause after these investigations, you are hyped up on adrenaline for one, overtired for two because you haven't slept in God knows how many hours. And I mean, you know me, I can go 2 days without sleep and I'll be like, no, I want to investigate more. And then, you know, Missy has to come along and be like, no, you're going to bed. But, and like, you know, just make sure that you take notes if you have to, you know, because you're not going to remember everything.
Either written or on a recorder.
Because when you're overtired, like, you know, your memories get jumbled. Like, I think I was there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
You know?
I do.
So.
What did we go? 48? The event was 36, but we went somewhere between 40 plus hours.
Yeah, I had been awake for so long and got to the point I was hallucinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Missy was finally like, you're going to bed. And I was like, no, you're going to bed.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was crazy. It was a
great
crazy
weekend,
night.
though.
All right, next piece of advice. Anything?
Just have fun with it. Don't expect to walk into this, even if you go to a place that, you know, there's stories that, you know, this is like one of the most haunted places in the area. Don't expect to go in there with things, you know, don't expect things to happen. I'm not going to name locations. I've been to locations where I've heard stories that are pretty big and they're well-known locations and nothing's happened while I was there. But,
I think it depends on, you can't make it happen on call.
Right.
And the more you think something is going to happen, the more your imagination will make it happen.
Exactly.
So,
if you can go into a place blind, go into it blind.
Yeah.
That's why Matt won't tell me some of the places we're going, because he knows damn well. These are his words himself. I know you're going to Google the crap out of it.
All right. So, Matt who?
Matt Waddell.
What do you think about getting permission? Do you think it's okay to break into a place to do it?
No. Nope. Under no circumstances at all. No.
No?
Nope.
Yes.
Even if it's an abandoned location, you can still go to the town hall of whatever location and find out who the owner is. And if there's no owner, then the town owns it. You still need to get permission to go inside. I mean, if you want to go outside the premises and, you know, take pictures or whatever, that's fine. But actually going into the location,
it's a little different.
Right. But if you want to actually go into the building, you should get permission.
I agree. Did you practice on the equipment before you went?
I played with it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much to see, you know, what the different settings and stuff did. But certain equipment, like, I won't use, like, in my house. I live in an old building. I don't know if there's anything here. I've had a few things happen where it's like, maybe. But I think that if I start playing with the equipment, if there is anything here, it might bring attention to it and amp up activity. And I have children. That
was my next question, so I like that. I believe it is possible that the more attention you give something, the more active it will be.
Right. Like, you know, if you are an intelligent spirit, say, you know, it's an intelligent haunting, and it's somebody that's, you know, wandering around, maybe they don't know that they're deceased, and they're like, why am I being ignored? And so they're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to be ignored, I'm just going to sit back. And then you start bringing attention to it. They're like, oh, wait, somebody noticed me. They're going to keep doing that to keep getting the attention. In my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion on it.
No, mine too. So, all right, I know this is new Investigator, but what do you think about people investigating their own homes?
If you want to, that's I mean, that's on you. Me personally, I wouldn't, only because of the fact that I have children. If I didn't have kids and it was just me and my husband, yeah, I'd do it.
But
because
why and why not?
Me personally, because if there is something, and like we were just talking about, the whole bringing attention to it could amp up activity. With my children, as much as my kids are into the paranormal like I am, because I don't hide what I do, I don't want, my 7-year-old to come in my room crying some night being like, Mommy, there's somebody in my room. Like, I don't want to scare my kids like that.
So you agree that doing it can, once you give attention to it, it can create more activity, lack of a better word, right?
Yep.
All right. No,
or if there is no activity and you're putting that much energy into the air, you could create activity to happen that isn't even a spirit. It's just you projecting that energy out into the atmosphere.
Yeah. So I know you're a new investigator, so you might not have the answer, but this leads me to a good question. How does a team know what is quote unquote poltergeist activity compared to or intelligent haunting? How can we tell the difference? And if you don't know, that's great.
I honestly have no idea. I think the way I would go about it, if I was to, say, go into a place and they were to make all these claims, and, I would do some research, like interview the person, find out, how they feel mentally, like how their life's going, without getting too personal, because, obviously I don't want to pry to these, clients being like, are you depressed right now? Like,
actually, you do. You do want to pry. It's hard. Excuse me. You do want to pry. You do want to know if they're depressed. You do want to know. I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of can't think of the word. I guess trial and error. Like, you pretty much knock out all the pins.
Yeah.
It's like the game Guess Who, where you're just knocking down each little thing, and whatever's left standing at the end, that's your answer.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Always be honest with your clients.
I know it sounds bad, but it's true.
Well, people that are, suffering from, say, their house being haunted, they have to live there. And if they're legitimately afraid, they're calling us to come in to try and figure out what's going on. So we can't sit there and be like, oh, yeah, it's definitely haunted, even though we don't have, evidence. So we got to sit them down and give them the hard truth. Be like, I don't think anything's going on here. This is what it could be. Let's try and figure it out that way.
Yeah. All right. Any other advice before we go?
Have fun with it. That's my biggest advice. Have fun with it. Laugh. Have a good time. Don't take it so seriously. This is a field that's not going anywhere for a very long time. We're never in our lifetime are going to get answers on what happens after we die. We're only going to know that when that time comes. So just have fun with it. Just don't take it so seriously. It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? It's like, take it seriously on this, but don't.
Right, take it seriously, but don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, take it seriously, like when you're investigating stuff, take it seriously. That's another thing. Always have respect for the places that you're investigating.
Oh,
don't go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go in there, egging these spirits on. Don't go in there, because for all we know, they're scared too. Just as scared as we are walking into a dark room by ourselves. They're probably scared, like, who is this person in my home? Like, respect them. If you say, hey, if they say leave, like if you get something coming across saying leave, respect them and leave. Like, leave the area for the time being. Be like, okay, I'll leave. Don't be the ones being like, well, don't come out now, you coward, or whatever, because no. You wouldn't want somebody going in your house being like, come and show yourself, coward. Like, don't do it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. See, it's why we're friends. Have you ever been in a location where somebody has been disrespectful and you're like, what do I do?
Yes, but the location, the person that was being disrespectful was the owner of well, they weren't the owner, but they were the caretaker of the location, and the person and the entity had come to an understanding because they had gone rounds before, and that's just how it was with them. It was somebody that was there every day, that knew the location in and out, that had spent years there, but I've never been on an investigation where an investigator coming in from the outside has been disrespectful.
All right. Awesome on the second part. But the first part, you're taking the word of the caregiver.
Yeah. But it was somebody that was... I wouldn't personally do what he was doing. I don't know if I should name names.
No.
But you probably know exactly who I'm talking about because it's a location that you've been at. He wasn't... They think that the entity that he was being disrespectful to, they don't know if it's a human entity. And we actually got this person coming across on a spirit box talking to the caregiver the same way. That's just how they interact with each other. They have like a mutual love-hate relationship, I guess. It's hard to explain.
No, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Kind of. Without giving too much away, I get it.
Yeah.
So, if you are a new investigator, and I'm sorry I'm losing my voice, pick your role models good, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Have good role models. Don't be a follower. Don't be a follower. Just, have fun. Have a good role model. Yeah. People that walk in with an ego, just let them do their thing.
Yeah. Egos out.
Yep.
But those are the ones people tend to follow.
Unfortunately, yeah. And the people that follow those people, they'll learn the hard way, unfortunately. They'll learn eventually. But, yeah.
Yep, definitely. So, all right, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up with me. I'm about to lose my voice again. Thank you for putting up with us. Dawn is great. She will be back. Do not hold my voice against her. Dawn, what team are you a part of?
Protectworth Mysterial Research.
Wait, say it slow.
Protectworth Mysterial Research. And we do have a Facebook page.
All right, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week, and join us then. Thank you.